Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am super excited because I got a very cool guest joining me at this time. On July 11th, Montreal ska lifers, the Planet Smashers, released their latest single entitled Meet Me on the Dance Floor. Plus, they have a new album dropping on August 22nd. Please welcome the vocalist and guitarist for the Planet Smashers and the label manager for Stomp Records, Matt Smasher.
Hey, how you doing, man? Right on. Thanks for the intro. That was sweet. That was good.
Thank you. It's a Matt squared interview today.
Yeah, double. That's good. It's like four of us. Wait a minute.
Exactly. But as I said, I'm super excited to chat with you. I've been a fan of ska music for a while, and actually just this year I finally got to interview some of my favorite ska bands, so it's awesome to have you on the podcast.
Oh, cool, man. Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited about the whole thing. We haven't done a new album. It's been 5-6 years now, so it's nice to do get back out there and talk to people about, the music. Dig it.
Oh, for sure. But before we dive into music, because obviously I really want to talk about the single and the upcoming album, but I'm curious for you, what drew you to ska music?
Oh, honestly, it goes way back. I mean, I'm the youngest of three brothers, and my older brother, I'll just tell you the whole thing. My older brother went to England, and he's quite a bit older. He was 1979. He went as a prep, and he came back as a two-tone mod / some rude boy, somewhere in between. And then he just kind of dominated my musical taste. I mean, I think I was really young, so I had an ELO record. I don't even know, it's like a disco band. He had a big hit or two, I can't remember. But he took it, he put a firecracker in and blew it up. So he said, listen to this. So I knew I was in my, I knew about it even at a very young age. And it stuck around. I went to university, and I was in a garage band. I was in a really bad psych band, and eventually, I went up to a couple shows, and there was a couple ska bands in the area, and I was like, holy, this is so much fun. People are partying and dancing. And I noticed this other guy that went to school with me. We weren't friends. He was like a jock, but he comes over, he's like, hey, you like ska music? I'm like, yeah, of course. And that was it. It was the beginning of the Planet Smashers.
The ska music just has its own unique vibe to it, and that's
for me, it's a whole different form of music. Because the guitar is it's so percussive. It's a requirement for me because it is. That's what ska music originally was. The guitar, it's a percussive instrument, effectively. It's different. So. We do branch out and put some guitar riffs in there, but not a lot. We try to stick to that sort of idea of my idea of what ska is. It's different for everyone, and that's fine. It's cool. But it's always a challenge doing it for me. And like everyone else in the world, I like a lot of different kinds of music. And it creeps in, and then you try to make it that kind of music ska. It gets weird, man. You can get some weird stuff, when you start mixing in R&B and soul or hardcore. Hardcore and then making it ska, and it kind of takes the heart out of it, but it's still, the progressions are still there, and I want to still have the angst and the tension. So it's interesting. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure. And I just, the whole Moon vibe is just awesome. So that's what drew me to ska music. And
right on.
Kind of curious. So jumping obviously to present day, as I said in my intro, you got a new single out, working on obviously going to be releasing a new album in August.
Yeah.
So for anyone who hasn't listened to the first single, Meet Me on the Dance Floor, what can they expect?
It's a pure pop song, man. It's so pop song. I remember when I wrote it, I was like, okay, guys, I got this other one, but no one's going to like it. You're going to hate it. Because they want the, intelligent, interesting stuff. And then I was like, I got this one too. It's like candy. And they're like, okay, we have to do it. Because it's a candy pop song, and it's about dancing and having fun. And that's pretty much ska music when it comes down to it. And we weren't really trying to be calculative like that. It just was something that was there. And we thought it would be a late track on the album. But then it kind of came out, and we're like, oh, we kind of have to do this one as a lead-off single. It's the catchiest, poppiest song on the album by far. Every time we play shows, we're out there and we run into people who are at the shows, fans. I could call them fans, but they're really just, at this point, some of them you see them so often, they become like friends, the same people that over and over again. And we played this one thing we did last fall. We did a festival called Supernova, which is a big ska festival in Virginia, and we also did the Fest in Gainesville. And at both these festivals, you just see people meeting up. And I remember talking to the merch table. I'm like, did you meet each other at in the pit? And they're like, yeah, we've been coming to this festival for 10 years, and we only see each other at this festival. And that song, that sentiment, kind of like was the genesis for Meet Me on the Dance Floor. And that's why it kind of happened. It's cool. Like, and you see these people, they're so happy to see each other in the pit, and they're hugging, and then they come to the merch, and almost all of them have the same story. It's like, well, yeah, we come here every year, and this is our thing. We go to the ska shows at the Fest, or we go to Supernova every year to see all the ska you can ever imagine, and it's nice to see. It's heartwarming.
It truly is, and for me as a concert goer as well, that you meet just so cool people, and you're all there for the same reason, that you love whatever music, band, whatever. Yep. And you already have an instant connection with people.
That's it. And the other things are left behind, it could be your personal problems. They're just sort of left behind for that moment, or politics, whatever. It's left behind, and you get in there, and that's it's something. That's the power of music.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right on,
it's a good audio clip, by the way, too. Good soundbite.
I'm trying. Right on, man.
Well, you're succeeding. All right, so kind of focusing more on the album. So how was it writing and recording it?
Honestly, this is our 10th album, man. We've done this a few times. In the first 5 years of the band, I think we had 4 albums. I don't know. In the last 5 years, we've had 1. So it's much slower. Everyone's lives are much busier, which kind of is the whole thing. We get to the studio and we realize how special this moment is, that we finally cleared our schedules to do some songs and write some music and get back to our youth. It brings us right back to those days, but the beauty of it all is there's no stress. Back in those days, we were stressed out. Everything was so intense, and we're trying to succeed and get to the next level and do all these things. And now it's kind of you just take it for what it is. You're having this moment where you're recording music, and hanging out with friends and talking about chord changes and melodies, and it feels like a vacation. It's still there's times where you get frustrated with you can't play something properly, or you can't think of a decent lyric. There are those moments, but ultimately those are the fun parts too, because they're challenging, and when you figure it out, it's pretty cool. So it's a great process. On top of this, we got to work with an old engineer that did a few of our albums in the past, which was really nice to work with him again. And then we got some cameos, which really, oh man, it was cool. It was cool. I don't know if we worked with Neville Staple from the Specials almost 21 years ago on an album called Mighty. He did a track with us. And I knew he went through health issues. He had stopped playing, but I just reached out. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. You're doing an album. Would you like to sing on a song if you're up for it? And he wrote back, so yeah, man, I'm actually going to start playing again, which is great. He got out, I guess he's feeling better. He's 70 or something, or 70 something. And he ended up doing 2 songs on the album. He toasts all over this one called Police Brutality, which is, it's a song about whatever, protest song. And they did another one, he helped out on the last song of the album, which is called Easy Like I Do, where he toasts, and it's kind of a love song, more of the, message to you, Rudy vibe, more of a traditional sounding ska song. The other guy we got on it was H from the original drummer from the Selector, Charlie Bembridge, but I know him as H. We met him while on tour with just a year and a half ago. We were in Coventry, England, on a tour, and we went to the Two-Tone Museum, which is where the Two-Tone, I guess it all happened. I don't know, and they kept all this paraphernalia. It's pretty cool for a ska nerd like me. And then they actually have a ska cafe, and there's a couple having a coffee, and my tour manager, who's British, looks at Charlie, and he's like, hey, do you play music? He's already going through his Rolodex, his mental, flipping through the pages. I know this guy, seen this guy's face. And then they figured out that it's the original drummer from the Selector. And I just said, we're doing a new album. Would you want to play some percussions on it? He said yes. And I just wrote him, 8 months later. He's like, send the tracks over. Boom, he was done that day. Dropped some timbales all over it. And then he actually sings back up on the same song with Neville, Easy Like I Do. He sings back up on that too. And it's a good singer. I had no idea. And we have one more. And do you remember the band Brand Van 3000? They had like a hit like 25 years ago.
Name sounds sort of familiar. Like that.
It was like, what the hell am I doing drinking in LA? Something but kiss.
I think I'm sure I've heard it at some point.
They had a huge hit. And then she they all hated each other after a while, but she stayed in touch with their engineer, their friends. So she just sang some nice backups on the track. And it was just like, kind of like, oh, okay, what a cool cameo. I didn't see that one coming. Didn't even meet her, didn't even talk to her. The track was just there and she nailed it. So it was cool.
With the cameos, obviously very cool, like, kind of, just interesting part of the album. Like, were these like planned at all, or just kind of like happened to happen? I
mean, there was chatter going around. Like we were like, well, that song really needs someone toasting on it. And then it kind of came out of that, meeting Charlie at the cafe. It was like, okay, we gotta reach out to him. And that was kind of organic and natural. But the other one was like, we'll start with Neville, see if he can do it. We had our next guy in line. We were going to invite someone else to do it, but thinking that Neville wouldn't be available, but he came through. So that's really what it was. In terms of the Brand Van Sarah from Brand Van, her cameo, it was just because we couldn't do it right. So like the engineer's like, it doesn't sound good. He's like, don't worry, I got an idea. So we brought her in. Like Andy, with our bass player, was like, whoa, trying to hit these high notes. He's like, I can do it, man. I'm totally doing it. And then there's two of us, and they were like, well, we're just going to turn that vocal down a little bit. And then it just got fixed. So, but I think that happens, and again, Andy doesn't care. He's like, whatever, man, I had a good time trying. It all kind of just fell in place. And that's like the nice thing about the whole way this album came out. There's some songs on the album where it sounds like we're working, you know what I mean? And there's some other songs where it just sounds like it just happened. And that's when it's really cool. When like everyone plays the song, but is everyone playing and listening? You know what I mean? Like there's a difference for me. And there's a couple songs this album where everyone's part fits. And it doesn't happen very often. Like in 10 albums, I can maybe say 10 songs where it actually happened, where everyone like got the idea of the song and we didn't have to talk about it. They just figured it out. It's not a weakness. It just means that other songs, people see the song and they hear a different thing and they go a different way. And for me, it's not. It becomes less cohesive because I had my version of what it was supposed to be. So maybe it's more just all about me. Anyway. There's 10 songs that we've ever done that are all about me. Could be more.
No, it's definitely not you at all, Matt.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, there's like just some songs where I'm really proud. And the next single is one of those. And I don't know how people are going to react. It's a little darker and, it's not quite as wrapped in a nice wrapper with the candy inside. It's ones you got to dig a bit. And I think people will like it if they realize what we're trying to get at. So it's kind of cool. I hope they like it. And then the third single comes out on August 22nd is a nice song. It's called Wasted Tomorrows, and it's the lead-off track from the album, and it makes sense why it's coming out that day. When you hear it, you'll be like, okay, I get it.
Well, I'm definitely very excited to check out the album. I've dug, obviously your music and obviously the new single, the latest single from you guys as well. So I'm excited to hear the rest of the album.
Right on, man. I mean, it's a good album. I'll be honest. It's an outstanding. It's okay. I actually think it's outstanding, but normally I don't say nice things about my band. So there, I did it. I need to practice more. Let me tell you. But it's a good album. We put a lot of effort into it. Songwriting is better than the last one, and the last one's pretty good. And much better than 2 ago, although some people will tell me that it's their favorite album, and then I just don't understand what's wrong with them, but it's okay. To each his own. But yeah, I'm proud of it.
Well, I'm excited. Obviously, release date August 22nd. Make sure to check it out when it is fully available with obviously the next couple singles that will be released as well. But so I'm curious for you, like you specifically, do you like prepare differently to record music compared to like performing live?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know, like I'd like to think that I don't give a crap what people think, you know? I like to think that I go around, I'm my own man, you know, I don't care what you think. I kind of do. So, I mean, like, it's really hard coming out of that shell and presenting a new idea to people you've been hanging out with for 3 decades, and still to this day, it's so intense and anxiety. It's tough, and the guys know that, and they sort of pull me out slowly and get the ideas out, and then if it's a turd, they're very polite about it. They try to like massage it into something, but generally I figure it out based on their body language that I wrote a turd. So it's a difficult process for me. I love it, but I feel very uncomfortable doing it. Live music is totally different. It's there. I like my black and I like my white. I like knowing it. Gray freaks me out, and I know how to play the songs. I can listen to them, and then you just go do it. Occasionally I freak out for shows. I think most musicians have moments where they're more nervous about a show than others, and I don't think anyone can fully turn off and not realize that they're standing in front of a lot of people and they're staring at you, and you're supposed to sing in front of them, and it's kind of weird. It's good. You can really freak yourself out. And it normally happens in my hometown, in Montreal, where I know like 100 people in the crowd, and their Uber fans are there, and they know when I've messed up a lyric or something, and those moments, they make me, I kind of freak out sometimes. So it's a weird feeling. But once you get up there and you start playing a couple songs, it's like any other thing that you're good at or you're familiar with, and you're with your team up there. That all goes away, and you're back in your living room writing songs, playing, and figuring things out. So it's pretty rad. I like them both. Different reasons. Oh, yeah, no, they're two very different sides of the music of recording it, and also performing it as well. Plus, yeah, like live audience, especially if they know the lyrics, you can't really cover up too many things. Oh man, there's one guy who busts me like crazy. He's from Ottawa. If he's listening to this, he knows I'm talking about him. He knows every lyric. He's so good. And sometimes he'll bust me on one day, I see a show, and then 6 months later we come back to town, he's there, and I look at him and I get the lyrics right, and he's like, "Way to go, man. I'm really proud of you, man." Just hand him the mic. Here you go, bud. But you can pretend like you changed them intentionally, but no, they know. That's true. They do know. Yeah. But that's the connection with the crowd, though. That's what it's about. It is, and it's really nice when you have these moments where you meet someone in the crowd, and they're up front and they're really into the band, but then when you go talk to them, you kind of become almost like on a friend level, very even, and it's this new thing, and then you see them at the next show, and you're just like, hey, and you're happy to see them, and it puts you in a good mood, and it's different. I love that. I love seeing people that I've seen at other shows where I know their names and I know where they're from, and it takes it to another level. So kind of makes you feel like your big brother's there to help you out, type thing. Not my big brother that beats me up and blows up my records, like a good big brother, Look at me. Yeah, no explosions or pyrotechnics. Yeah, there you go. Well, I did have just a few more things before we start to close out this interview. So I did want to touch on Stomp Records, since you are the label manager. So if anyone is not familiar with Stomp Records, what can you tell about it, and how would you describe it? Well, again, it started because the Smashers didn't have a record label, and a lot of the other local ska bands in Montreal didn't have a record label, so we created this sort of, it was supposed to be like a collective originally, but then people got real jobs and stuff, so they disappeared, and I kept doing it out of sheer stubbornness. But Stomp changed over the years. When, I don't know if you remember, like Moon Records from New York City was the biggest thing in ska back then, and then I remember when they started having trouble, and their label manager said to me, he's like, Matt, the thing we did wrong is that we pushed ska, not the bands. We were always pushing ska, and the bands were just doing ska. And he's like, that was our mistake. You got to push the bands. And that kind of changed our perspective. We kind of like looked around and said, okay, well, we shouldn't be pushing ska anymore because we didn't really do that, but we were to some extent. So we started signing non-ska bands. And in the 2000s, we originally signed Flatliners. I don't know if you know, they're on Fat, or were on Fat, whatever Fat is now. Bedouin Soundclash, who had some pretty massive songs back then. Skate punk band called Belvedere, who still tours hard to this date. And then we picked up. We started working with the Creep Show, Dreadnoughts, Real Mackenzies, and more recently, you know, the most successful band on the label in the recent few years is a band called Wine Lips, who are incredible. I mean, like their music is sonically outstanding, but their live show is phenomenal. Like, I mean, these two guitar players and one guy's singing too on top of this, like singing. They play the same riff. It sounds like it's programmed. It sounds like it's pre-recorded and they're faking it, but they're not. They're playing it, man. It's not. There's no dats going. There's no fakes. They're doing everything, and it's so good. And they're so tight. So if you get a chance to see Wine Lips, go see them. You're a ska fan, metal fan, garage fan, psych fan, whatever you are, you will like this band if you go see them. I mean, they're going to yell at you a bit. I mean, they don't expect like a little pop fun. No, it's intense. It's great band. And we're very lucky to be working with them. So they're a big pride for the label. But we're coming up to our 30th anniversary for Stomp. We're going to have a big party at the end of December in Montreal. We're going to do 4 nights. We've got Smashers are coming up. Flatliners are coming back. They're not on the label anymore, but they're still buds. So they're going to come back and they're going to be our alumni band. We have Dreadnoughts are coming in from New York and Vancouver, wherever they're from, all over the place. Creep Show is coming up from Toronto. So it's going to be a big, fun thing. We got a lot of young awesome bands, too, that we really love, that don't work commercially. That's the problem with Stomp. We don't sign bands because we think they're going to make money. We sign them because we like them.
But a very awesome and talented roster. I've had the opportunity to interview a few bands on Stomp, Anti-Queens and the Black Halos.
Anti-Queens are great. Black Halos are awesome. That's 2 very different bands, but yet they fit. You know what I mean? Anti-Queens right now are in Europe. They're crushing it. They finally got a good agent over there, and it's been a hard time to get them out of Canada, and it's working now. They're really tight. They're really together. They have important songs that I think they're important, you know, songs, everything that they're very, very active in terms of, you know, what's happening right now. Great band. You know, we have other smaller bands that I think are outstanding, like Fake Friends. They're going to have a new album out. It's so cool, man. I don't even know what's going on. Penske Files, one of my favorite bands on the label that nobody knows. Brutal Youth is probably one of the best hardcore bands. I mean, they're outstanding. So great bands. If you have time, check them out, man. Very
talented roster of bands. I'll leave a link for Stomp Records in the description if anyone wants to check out all the great music on the label.
Right.
So, but now, as we're starting to close this out, I got one kind of more challenging question to kind of close on. So I'm curious. I'll be curious for you.
All right.
So Planet Smash has been around for 30 plus years at this point. So, like, I'm curious for you. Like, what has been your favorite like moment or memory from the band throughout that time?
There's so many. There's so many incredible moments, but in the end, it's probably going to have to like. I had a moment about 8 years ago. I broke my neck, and I lost sensation in my right arm. I couldn't feel anything, and I couldn't. It got very weak, and I was in bed for 3 months, and the guy that fixed my neck is actually one of my best friends now, which is kind of weird because, like, we're hanging out. He'll be like, I've been in, whatever. I've been inside you. So he's funny. But the first show back, I still didn't have full control of my arm. I mean, it was coming back, but my fingers were still I couldn't play guitar yet. It was May. It was outdoor at Pooza Fest, and it was 5 months after I cracked my neck. And we had a buddy play guitar for us who's an outstanding death metal guitar player, but I made him play ska. So he plays in time, which is kind of confusing. I'm burning.
I don't know how that works, but all right.
So he comes and he plays, and there must have been, 10,000 people at this show in Montreal, which is kind of like pretty awesome. Everyone knew that, Collier, that's me, Matt Smasher. He gets to play again, and I think people thought maybe this would be my last show or something, but it was amazing. I got to. Oh, this is when I realized that lead singers that don't play instruments, actually, it's not that easy. I thought it was super easy. I mean, you don't carry anything. You show up with your little microphone, and you go on stage. It's freaking exhausting. It's so tiring. Jumping around and stuff, like Dave. Do you know Big D and the Kids Table?
Yes, yeah. I interviewed Ben a little while ago.
Oh, there you go. I mean, he moves on stage. So I was trying, I could do what he does. I can't do what he does, man. I got so tired. I'm like, give me a guitar. Anyway, and you got nothing to hide behind. With the guitar, you can kind of hide behind it. Microphone, there's nothing you can do, man. There's no place to go. So it's intense. I new respect for singers that don't play instruments. I always just thought they had a free ride. They don't. You learn something new, even in every, you're an old man, you're still learning things. Collier, that's great. So that would be it. Break Your Neck comeback show. There's many other incredible moments that good times.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. So now, as we're closing out this interview, so I'm curious, so for the Planet Smashers, Stomp Records, yourself, what's the rest of the plans for 2025?
Well, Smashers are getting our album comes out, in a month now, and we don't tour like we used to, but we're doing quite a bit. We're doing a run with a band called Mustard Plug from Grand Rapids in the Midwest, not the Middle East. That's all different. Yeah, we're going different region. Playing, Syria. It's gonna be great, but no, the Midwest of the United States. So for a 5-day rip, and then we got some festivals also in September in Montreal and Quebec with the Interrupters and Streetlight Manifesto, amongst others, which are going to be huge. These shows are going to be so much fun. And then we're doing some October regional dates, and then we go back out west to Western Canada in November, and then we do the U.S. Northeast in December, plus the anniversary shows. Then our work permits run out in America, and right now the wait time to get your work permits is like a year. You have to tell them what shows you're playing, and it's supposed to go a year. So 2 years from now, I got to tell them where I'm playing on, June 15th, 2027. I don't know if you've seen it, but a lot of Canadian bands are canceling tours. Real Mackenzie's from our label just canceled Punk in the Park in Denver because it had been 6 months since their work permits went in, and we still haven't heard a word. So that's frustrating. maybe we'll just tour Europe. But we like playing the States. I want to get back to the fest. I want to get back to Supernova. I want to get back to California. We were going to go to California in January, but permits run out January 8th, so we had to decline. But hopefully they'll figure it out, and we'll be able to get back at it.
I hope that process goes smoothly for you guys, and you guys can come back stateside as well.
That's it. Yeah, a lot of the ska movement right now that's happening, that's cool, is coming out of the States. Like the majority of there's some outstanding bands outside of America, a few in England and some cool ones in Japan. But right now, what I consider to be the new face of whatever this wave of ska, whatever it's called, new tone, or if it's just a new wave, is coming from the young bands from America. And we have a cause. There's a cause which just for, rights, deciding what you want to be and who you want to be, and not having someone tell you what you can and can't do. It's legitimate again, and it's a nice feeling that the subculture has that back, and it's not about COVID anymore or anything like that. It's actually about freedom of speech and freedom of belief and freedom of religion and freedom of, sexuality, all that stuff. So it's nice. I'm glad we have a nice subculture, folks, where we can punch the mainstream. Anyway, it's great. I love that.
As do I. It's great to see, and I hope it continues. I know, obviously,
Thanks.
with everything going on, I hope it's able to grow and continue.
Yeah, check out your podcast. I'm super stoked. I'll share it like crazy, man. Let me know when it goes up. We'll do what we can. I do appreciate it, Matthew.
Oh, of course. And for everyone watching, I will leave some links for Stomp Records and the Planet Smashers in the description of this podcast. August 22nd, On The Dancefloor will be available. Definitely check it out. I'm excited for it. You guys should be excited for it. It's going to be a great time.
Play on repeat.
Exactly.
Right on, man.
For Mad Smasher, I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.
Yeah! Right on, man.